How's it going? I'm here to talk to you about chapters 3 and 4 from the Yes Persuasion book. Chapter 3 is titled What Common Mistakes Make Messages Self Destruct. And as you've seen in this book, it states in one of the first couple of pages of chapter 3 that people tend to follow the most popular course of action. And you've seen that in present time, I'd like to say, with the various political campaign between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And a lot of times, from what I saw, a lot of people were, cheering for those two various candidates, whether it be Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, because it was more of a bandwagon effect. And, for example, Donald Trump came out with the Make America Great Again hats, which, were a very fashionable accessory. And a lot of people, just wore these hats and, followed what everybody else was doing by wearing these hats because they were considered kind of a cool trendy look. And that's I've seen a lot of people follow the popular crowd through that. Another example I'd say in my personal life is driving in a car. If you're in traffic, a lot of people, if you're in the right lane, people switch over to the left in front of you. You're more inclined to just kind of switch over to the left lane, and I find myself doing that a lot of times because I see various people, and it's kind of becoming the popular choice is switching the lane to get past the traffic, whether it be the best option or not the best option. And example that I did like in the book was I believe it was page 21, where it was the posters in the waiting room of the hospital, and they kind of displayed the negativity of missing your appointment and not coming to your scheduled appointment, which made the attendance rates of the appointment actually go down. And I think this would be a lot better if instead of those type of posters, hospitals displayed positive posters such as 98% of people came to their appointments this week, and people get to see those whether they're reoccurring patients or not, and think that's the popular opinion is coming to your appointment versus the posters that they did had. It looks like the popular choice was to miss your appointment. Another example I liked was on page 23. Is stating that the manager, if you have a decrease in your attendance in your monthly meetings, the best way to do this is just to disapprove of the people missing and kind of approve and reward the people that are attending to make that the more popular choice. So then the employees of the office view people attending the meeting as the popular choice and will more likely follow the crowd. And example kind of similar to that in my personal life is being in a fraternity. We hold weekly chapter, and the attendance sometimes is below average. And a way to combat that, I believe, is just do what that example did, kind of approve of people showing up rather than talking bad about people not showing up. So the popular opinion is attending rather than missing out on the chapter. So I would like to move on to chapter 4. It's titled When Persuasion Might Backfire, How Do You Avoid the Magnetic Middle? Well, the magnetic middle is basically going towards the average. If you're above the average, go back down to the average. If you're below the average, going up to the average to get the social norm, if you will. And a great example that I saw was I believe it was Wes Schultz and a few other colleagues did an experiment with 300 California households where they measured the energy consumption, and they put various stickers on the people's houses of how much they were over the average or how much they were under the average. And the people that were consumed more energy than the average reduced their usage by 5.7%. And people who were below the average increased their energy usage by 8.7%. I thought that was extremely interesting. People who were using less energy than the average, saving more money, actually increased their usage just so they could be at the norm. And that kind of shows what society will go through to reach the social norm. Another example that I really liked in chapter 4, which was really, really interesting, was the use of classrooms and how it's best to praise people for doing the social norm, for doing the social desirable, and praising students for actually showing up to class, contacting their parents, because that is the social norm. However, it can help increase attendance by providing positive feedback instead of just providing negative feedback. Negative feedback can't always help. And through these 2 chapters, I learned 2 great things. I learned that, to reach the social desirable, it's best to relay positive effects. And I also learned that people go through great lengths just to reach the norm. And you can use that a lot in the sales environment. You can use that strategy in the way you pitch things, and just kind of use the everybody's doing it approach. And, a lot of times in society, people be more inclined to say yes because it's the norm. And glad I got to read these 2 chapters.